I wake up. Sunlight streams through the window. Someone warm is sitting on the bed beside me, their presence strong. Unsure if it's a man or a woman. The sun highlights blonde hair. I sense stability, firmness, maybe a hospital bed. I squint and manage to see the face. You're quite captivating, I remark, but who are you? The person replies, I'm Stuart, your husband. I laugh, that's a start. And who am I? I hold back from asking where we are. Stuart reassures me, you're Jill, a writer. You'll be okay. I sense his fear, though. I didn't ask, I reply, and he takes my hand. You will. Remember climbing out of the pool? Yes, I admit. I wonder if he can tell when I'm lying. Memories of swimming and pushing my muscles flood back to me. Sweat drips down, thighs aching like the furrow beneath Ava Gardner's brows. Am I in Palm Springs? I'm doing laps on the 20th one now. You're almost there, I tell myself. Just one more. Suddenly, I'm in a hospital. Did I hit my head? I blurt out, not waiting for an answer. How long have I been out? A while, he says. It's night. A strong guy sits beside me. Hello, now have some soup, he says, trying to feed me. I can't taste it. You could have drowned, he mentions, but you got out of the pool somehow. I lightly touch his forearm. It's nice of you to sit here with me. I'm your husband. I nod, I know, but I don't know. Tears. If you know what I mean. Time moves on. A man in white comes in, puts up the shade. Outside is a flat, soft green land, like a children's book. It's sweet outside, I say. Are you asking where you are? He asks. Probably. He's good-looking, like Spencer Tracy. Are you my doctor? I ask. He sits down, hand over mine. I'm your husband, Jill. You're at Stoke Mandeville Hospital near Train. Mandeville sounds familiar. In England, he adds. I thought England looked like this, I say, avoiding how I got here. Can I call my kids? I ask, confused about the connection. Jeremy and Johanna? He prompts. You've been in a coma, he explains. It's temporary. They're grown. I try to sit up, feeling like my life is an old war movie. There's a piece missing, I say, touching his hand, then drifting away. Leaning against a man's chest, seriously unhappy. You'll remember soon. The last thing I recall before the seizure was anger, shattering my memory and erasing years. My husband and I visited a spa outside London, where we live, with a pact to get fit. He reminds me. You were trying on outfits, and I went back to bed to read until you were ready. Then you found I brought chocolate to the spa. You put on your bathing suit, said, forget breakfast, I'm going swimming. I realize I was the one who got upset. So I was the angry one. Yes, his voice is familiar, but I wonder if it's the tone or rhythm that appeals to me. Do I remember my taste? What if I've forgotten how I dress? It's okay. He won't mind. Maybe. We search each other's faces. He checks if I remember, and I try to show that I do. We'd been away a while. Only a couple of days, he says. It feels like forever, I admit. You're handling it well. He strokes my hand, and I wipe away tears. After you went to swim, I did my circuit training. I got a call when they found you in a seizure at 10. You were still convulsing when I arrived at 10:10. The ambulance came at 10:30. You were unconscious for a couple of days. He looks at his watch. You almost died. Interesting, I mumble. Not to me, he says. He's strong. He could have left, but he stayed. I think about it for a minute, maybe as long as I can hold on to it. Did I pass out? Is that what happened? Not exactly. Good. I'm sleepy. I wake up to a world painted in light green. A visitor is by my side. I'm confused about what's happened, but it seems best not to know. Tears come, but the man is protective. I tell him I know him but can't place him exactly. He sounds like Richard Burton, and that's how I recognize the voice. He hands me white roses. Those are nice, I say. The flower of Yorkshire, he says, testing me. I'm your husband, he adds, kissing my forehead and holding my hand. Did we go through this before? I ask. Yes, he replies, we were at the spa for our 10th wedding anniversary. He expresses love, and I worry about the children being scared. Another morning, I'm up early, walking with a soft-armed woman in the garden. It's wonderful to be outdoors. She mentions the rose garden, and I'm excited to experience it again for the first time. Solitary memories don't trouble me, but shared ones, if forgotten, will be missed by others. My mind is still. I reach up to touch a tree branch. This looks like a tree I love at home, a jacaranda tree. Our family can memorize easily, but I can't tell you your name. Today. Or his. I nod toward the visitor in white. And he's my favorite doctor. The woman laughs. That's your husband. Oh, really? I laugh. There's a surprise for you. Does he know I don't remember him? He kisses me on the forehead, immaculate in white jeans and a shirt, and brings me 5 peaches. In the hospital cafeteria, he explains we were at Champneys, a health spa, and I had a seizure after swimming. I ask about the seizure, thinking of epilepsy. He holds my hand gently and firmly. It seems to be epilepsy, but they'll want to do more tests later. Epilepsy. Julius Caesar had it. Why do I think I know that? Did you see it? I ask, acknowledging that it's not attractive. As a kid, I had a friend with epilepsy, Carol Steinman. She was often excluded from overnights and parties because people didn't want to witness her seizures. I recall the harsh treatment of horses with fits at Will Rogers' stables in LA. I didn't know I had epilepsy. I slice a peach carefully, using my left hand. It feels like this hand and I are old war buddies greeting each other. He watches my hands, suggesting there might be something no one wanted to tell me. Maybe I forgot, I suggest, wondering if the friend with epilepsy was actually me. He takes the knife from me. Don't worry, I assure him, I won't kill myself over this. He hands me a slice of peach, and I comment on the wonderful taste. I note he's checking if I remember the flavor, but I don't. Right now, it's bright and soft, sweet and sharp, maybe more a fragrance than a taste. I'm not testing you, he insists. Not really, I reply. You're going home today, he announces as a woman rolls up the shade. I try to picture home, but the scene unfolds in my mind. I walk through the dark driveway to my house. It's empty and still. I don't remember what was there. The kids are gone, and I can't even ask where they are. I don't think I'm going, I admit. I don't want to go back. I live in this empty room with an unfinished book and a couple of snapshots of my family. I can't remember the book, but I take it for granted that I do this. My kids are gone, but I mustn't let on that it bothers me. I pull on a long blue denim skirt, but decide I don't want to go back, so I take it off. I can dress later. Don't you remember home? She hands me the skirt. You'll be wanting to put this on, love. You'll remember when you see it. She gazes out the window, perhaps trying to recall a home for me or herself. I don't remember. But it's been a while, hasn't it? I'm uncertain how long, maybe a few weeks. My mind has become a pool where facts and ideas dive under, transforming or not coming up at all. A man in a tight suit walks in, a doctor, clearly. They all look orderly, except my father's heart doctor with asthma from smoking. Why do I need this? Unnecessary memories come like dive bombers dropping old flyers. I wave them away, off. The doctor seems unsettled. It's okay, I assure him. I remembered something I don't need. Yes, he clears his throat. How are you doing today? He says to the chart, still confused. I'm kind of drowsy. Well, you will be. He looks at my chart. You're on phenytoin. You were in status epilepticus when brought in. You're lucky to be alive. He's the kind of doctor who sees illness as a disciplinary problem and prescribes things you hate. The Englishman, forgotten in the room, speaks to the doctor. She doesn't remember any mention of epilepsy, and there aren't any records in medical offices in LA. Jill had 2 convulsions during her sleep last year, and she was given phenobarbital as a child, indicating epilepsy. LA doctors are mostly interested in drugs, I explain. Mandeville, but I live in Mandeville Canyon. I pictured Jane Fonda riding her horse down the road. What kind of trees? Mandeville is the hospital's name, Jill. Of course it is, I say. When did they put a hospital on the polo field? Too confusing to argue about. I mention I use speed, but haven't had a drug or a drink for a long time. Really? The doctor sounds unconvinced. The Englishman presses my hand, stating she hasn't, not since 1969. When I noticed she had seizures at night, our doctor recommended an anticonvulsant. But she refused. If that's the stuff I'm on now, I assert, I don't want it. I can't write on this, can't hold on to what I'm thinking, which means no writing, can't catch what I see. I feel drugged, handcuffed, struggling in an empty room, attempting to piece together a big jigsaw puzzle. I shouldn't worry about writing for now, my dear. You've been seriously ill. The doctor addresses my husband, as if I haven't spoken, but you might want to confirm the situation with a new EG when you return to London. But I want to go home. The Englishman takes my hand. London, he says, is home. I catch is home and sense his resignation. Not quite frustration. He seems to accept difficulty, which might be useful. It's not easy with a wife who doesn't grasp your name. I study him, understanding his character. I don't need to know where we are or where we're going today. He'll keep me safe.